Good afternoon to you, Alicia, and our viewers at home. Indeed, the march started off rather peacefully when we were at Church Square in Pretoria in the CBD, and then of course it proceeded to march towards the Union buildings, a 4-kilometer march there where the students were expected to hand over a memorandum of a list of demands, calling, of course, chief amongst them is the call for free education and also the release of the students that have been arrested that are currently in jail, Yomcebo Dlaminis and 3 student leaders here in Pretoria. Now, when that was planned to go ahead, the officials here at the Union Building sent one of the government officials to come and accept that list of demands, and students really just did not want that particular individual to be the one that receives that list of demand, saying that it's a man they do not recognize. They want recognizable officials, and as a result, that memorandum was then not sent to government, or rather not delivered to government as had been planned. Now, what has happened then, we had a moment of slight violence when the police then tried to disperse the students from the Union Building gardens, trying to get them to exit the gardens to end the march. But then the students refused, saying that Union gardens are public property. They are allowed to be on these grounds. Then we had a tense moment where the police actually did fire stun grenades, and then the students fired back by throwing certain objects at the police. So that was the moment where we had a bit of violence breaking out. But since then, the students have since then left the Union Building gardens, and now they've gathered outside the Union Buildings on the street here. I'm sure you can see those visuals where they are just singing and chanting some struggle songs and trying to map a way forward, Alicia.
But Sipho, as we understand it, this is actually an illegal march. As you've just explained, there's a heavy police presence that is currently monitoring things, and you did say that they have rejected the person that was coming to receive the memorandum. So what's happening on the scene now? Are they still gathering there illegally?
Well, it was termed or declared illegal by Tshwane Metro officials, saying that even though they had received the application to host this march on time, it did not meet one of their requirements. That they mentioned things such as safety requirements, and that the numbers that had been proposed, they had proposed about 3,000 individuals, and they had said that the city cannot be able, the Church Square rather, where it was the initial meeting point, cannot be able to host about 3,000 people, as was mentioned in their request. But of course, the numbers did not reach 3,000, even though I would say there were a little over 1,000 people that came and joined here. And the students then refused to back down. They say, we are going to march ahead whether you are giving us permission or not. And as a result, then the police really beefed up security to ensure that should anything go wrong, they are on standby to sort of contain the situation. And well, it's largely been peaceful earlier on, but all chaos kind of broke out here at the Union Buildings. But right now what's happening is that the students are gathered just outside the Union Buildings. There's still quite a number of them, I would say 100 or more, that are still here, they're still chanting here, refusing to leave, saying that they're not going to leave until someone recognizable comes through and receives that list of demands, with that, of course, all-important demand for free higher education.
Sipho, do tell us, as things stand now, I mean, has there been any reported injuries or arrests during the course of today?
Well, there haven't been any arrests. I must say that the police have tried to sort of work with the students, so they haven't really arrested anybody, and the students did obviously eventually comply, in the sense that now they have left the Union Building gardens and now they are out on the streets. And right now, of course, police are still keeping a close eye and waiting. So there wasn't a great degree of violence in that sense that would warrant arrest. There were a few stones thrown then and there, but it's not something I would say that it would warrant an arrest, and indeed there hasn't been any arrest. And of course they are monitoring this. There's lots of journalists who are also monitoring this. Actually myself, I was caught in the crossfire. They hit me with a rock in the head. So it's been a busy day, but certainly we are keeping an eye on the activities as they develop. And right about now, the students are dispersing. If I can just get out of the shot, I'm sure they are moving because they have a gathering point that is Church Square. So from what I'm thinking, that's where they're probably going right now.
Thank you so much for that update. That is Sipho Stuurman. He's right outside the union buildings where the students have decided to take their call for free education, and they are currently awaiting for an official from government to come and receive that memorandum.